all, it's me again, Aki from Bring Forth, and as you can hear there's a party outside, or rather there was a gig in town and the party is passing by my flat here in the homeless shelter. It's 0:45 in the middle of the night. And I was thinking of making this one about Japan and perhaps covering the Japanese militarization, which has been ongoing for a while. If I don't get any other topics in the next 15 seconds, I will be doing this one. Japan is limited by the treaties that ended the Second World War, and it isn't allowed to build a carrier, yet it built a helicopter carrier, which it was allowed to do, which it called the destroyer. And since we fit it into a full carrier, which it isn't allowed to do, because a full carrier is against the treaties at the end of the Second World War, so officially Japan is in breach of those treaties. And they are also remilitarizing at a rather alarming pace. And they are also starting to demand the removal of statues about comfort women and other things that remind the world about their downsides, as in the Japanese being evil to everyone. Now, I've read enough history to know that I don't want to see a remilitarized Japan any more than I want to see remilitarized Germany. So, were I the American leadership, I would have walked right into Tokyo Bay after they built the carrier and reminded them of the treaties. But reality is that since they are a US ally, they're allowed to do so. That's basically it. This is forgetting all the other nations that fought for the US and is going to be a significant diplomatic loss for the US stance, but they will probably allow it because it will allow them to balance against China. So the Chinese, due to their significantly larger economy, will be able to hold Japan back on their own for a while. But if the situation continues to deteriorate, China will start losing to Japan, and then we'll see the secondary reactions to that, like the Chinese military budget starting to climb, something it hasn't been doing. Because the Chinese are relying on their economic growth to bring them wealth, instead of using their wealth to fund their military. Still, the Chinese aren't the most peaceful people in the world, and the North Koreans aren't the most peaceful people in the world, but that doesn't change the fact that Japan is militarizing much more rapidly than they are. So this will be a short update, but in short, I would be keeping an eye on the Japanese and kind of reminding them as a group not to allow themselves to remilitarize again, because a resurgent Japan will trigger a war that I don't want to see.